College football chaos strikes again. Upset Saturday in week 6 of the 2024 college football season. My name is Harrison Graham. You're watching Verts, an NFL and college football show here on YouTube. I'm going to react to all of the chaos that ensued today. Upsets everywhere, other notable takeaways. Lots to dive into here on Verts. And this is why you subscribe, because late on a Saturday night, I'm fired up, launching up the old recording equipment and ready to go here with the latest and greatest college football reaction. So if you love this sport, if you love college football and the NFL, subscribe today. It is 100% free. We'll get to Tennessee, Arkansas here in a minute, but we got to start with the upset of the day, the upset of the year, the upset of history when it comes to Vanderbilt football. They top number 1 Alabama 40-35 in Nashville. And I got to correct one thing right off the bat here. Vanderbilt, unlike what it says on screen, was 0-60 against AP top 5 teams before today. Getting that corrected right on the fly for you right here, because I know some Vandy fans are going to watch this show and say, Harrison, no, it was 0-60. There it is, corrected. Now 1-60. Diego Pavia, learn the name. The New Mexico State transfer, played under Jerry Kill for the Aggies at New Mexico State, leads them to, I believe, a 10-win season. Kill retires, like he often does, and then Vandy hires him as like an offensive consultant. He gets Pavia to go with him, and the rest is history. And, I mean, this is just an all-time upset, especially for Vanderbilt. To beat number 1 Alabama is just, there's something about this sport that's just different. Like, you just don't get the storylines, the upsets, the chaos that you do in other sports. And sure, there's March Madness and college basketball, there's upsets, but it's not the same. It really isn't. In the NFL, this isn't the Browns beating the Steelers when Cleveland's winning 3 games a year. Like, Vanderbilt doesn't beat Alabama. They hadn't beaten them since 1984. They were a 22.5-point dog at home. And Diego Pavia, who's about 5'9", and an average athlete with an average arm, but he's crafty, he can run, he's accurate, outplays Jalen Milroe in an SEC game. You just don't get that in other sports very often. And Pavia, they're talking about on the broadcast, he said, I grew up watching Johnny Manziel, and a smaller guy that could move, playing in the SEC, doing special things. Now, he does not have the talent Manziel had, but all this kid wanted was a chance. And despite leading New Mexico State to a 10-win season, Vandy was really the only notable SEC school that wanted him. And let's be real, Vandy's basically a group of 5 football program. At least historically, that's what they've been. He goes there, wins the job, and just beats Alabama. They beat Virginia Tech earlier in the year. I know they lost to Georgia State. I'm not acting like Vandy's going to be in the top 15 or anything, but it's just special, man. And then they tear the goalpost down. They're rocking down Broadway Street with it. Like, that's just unique, man. There's something different about this sport, and it's why it's always been my favorite sport. For Kalen DeBoer and Bama and Jalen Milroe, it's setback loss, no doubt about it. Now, in the 12-team playoff era, they're going to be fine. Their season's not over by any means. But, man, you beat Georgia one week, lose to Vanderbilt the next. I mean, what sport does that happen in? I mean, it's awesome. It doesn't get much better. And then if you haven't watched Pavia's on-field interview after the game, I mean, the guy went nuts. Absolutely nuts. He said, Vanderbilt, fucking turn. I mean, excuse the language for any kids watching. That was awesome. I mean, that's why you play. That's why you play college football. That's why you transfer to Vandy, because you want one chance to beat a school like Alabama. 99 times out of 100, you're going to lose this game. But it only takes one day. It only takes 60 minutes. It only takes you playing awesome and them being slightly off to have a chance. That's what happened today. Jalen Milroe, 2 turnovers. had a fumble late in this game that led to a Vandy touchdown to put them up 12 with about 5 minutes left. Bama scored to cut it to 5, but Vandy got 3 first downs and iced the game. I mean, when Vanderbilt got the ball back with 2:50 left, Bama had all 3 timeouts and the 2-minute warning. I remember thinking, okay, get 1 first down and at least you have a pretty good shot. Bama will probably get the ball back and have to go the length of the field in a minute and a half. 3 first downs to ice the game. I mean, that's pretty impressive. Did anyone think they were going to get 3 first downs and ice the game? Because I didn't. And look, you put up 40 on Bama. You were doing something right offensively. That was fun to watch, man. And Diego Pavia, I don't know what this guy is going to do moving forward. He's pretty good. I think he's got a year after this year too, so maybe Vandy can go bowling this year and be solid next year. But if he does nothing for the rest of his career, for decades, forever, he will be the quarterback that took down number 1 Alabama. Like, he will always be a legend for Vanderbilt football. Like, this isn't pulling off an upset as Ole Miss or Texas Tech. Like, not these top 50, top 75. It's Vanderbilt. Like, this is the best win in the history of their program. It's just, you gotta love it. You absolutely gotta love it. Shift to elsewhere in the SEC. Arkansas 19, number 4, Tennessee 14. You know, I kind of liked Arkansas all week. They were 14-point dogs, 13.5, depending on the sports book, and I hammered Arkansas to cover. I should have gone money line because I thought there was good value there. If you've watched Arkansas closely this year, there are 2 losses they completely beat themselves. Oklahoma State, they outgained them by over 300 yards, lost that game. A&M last week, they had a million chances. And tonight, once again, they were completely outplaying Tennessee in the first half, yet they were only up 3-0 at halftime, despite outgaining them by about 150 yards. Tennessee hits them in the mouth in the third quarter to go up 14-3. And Arkansas dominates the fourth quarter and wins 19-14. And look, there's nothing more demoralizing than late in the game when it's the last play of the game and you're within range to throw the ball in the end zone and your quarterback just does not do it. Like, I'm not saying it would have been a great chance, but Tennessee was at the Arkansas 20, 25-yard line? Think about the 20. And Nico Iamaleava takes the snap, rolls right, keeps the play alive, does a nice job, and instead of throwing one to the end zone, scrambles and gets 5 yards and is tackled out of bounds. No chance of any time being left on the clock. Like, Nico, you have to throw the ball in the end zone there. You just have to. Now, it's not a great chance. It's probably a 5 to 10% chance you're going to complete it, but maybe you get a PI. Maybe you do complete it. Maybe the ball's bounced around, and we've seen Hail Marys. Like, you know what doesn't have a chance? Scrambling and running out of bounds. That does not have a chance. And, like, I just wonder sometimes when these plays happen, I'm like, are they worried about throwing an interception? Like, Nico, if you throw a pick, it does not matter. It's not going to be broken down in film study. Like, dude, you can't throw that one. No, you know what is going to be broken down in film study? Nico, why didn't you throw the ball here? Tell me what happened. That's just an all-time bad play. But, look, Arkansas earned the win. They could easily be 6-0. I mean, a massive win for Sam Pittman, whose seat's been pretty hot this year. And Taylen Green, the Arkansas quarterback, he's very up and down, but he's 6'4", 230. He can scramble. He's got a strong arm. I don't think he turned the ball over tonight. That's been his biggest issue. Threw for 260 in this game. Big win for Arkansas. And for Tennessee, you know, not a massive setback, but they got some tough games coming up. So if they want to be a playoff team, they're going to have to win a game that's going to be tough. Like Bama, Tennessee, all of a sudden, in a couple of weeks, is that's a huge game. Loser of that game has 2 losses and is behind the 8 ball. So kudos to Arkansas. Massive win for the Razorbacks. Massive win for PJ Fleck in Minnesota. He rolls the dice, 4th and goal at the 1 with about a minute left. I'll be honest, I thought he should have kicked the field goal. If you get stuffed there and lose this game in overtime, it's a pretty tough look. But they power in there for a touchdown. It was called a stop on the field, and on replay, you couldn't really see the ball, but it was pretty clear that Max Brosmer was across the line. But we've seen plays like that stand before. Well, we can't see the football. Everyone knows he's in the end zone, but it's not indisputable. So I thought the officiating crew used common sense. They're like, hey, he's clearly in the end zone. So that was a proper overturn in my opinion. And it was a great call because USC got well within field goal range, and Miller Moss threw a pick in the end zone with about 10 seconds left to seal the win for Minnesota. I got to tell you, Lincoln Riley, who got a huge win over LSU in week 1, tough loss to Michigan a couple weeks ago, who lost again today, by the way. We'll talk about that in a second. He's now 5-7 in his last 12 games. I don't know, man. I just, this thing, it started pretty well this year, but now all of a sudden they're 3-2. Miller Moss has not been that good the last couple weeks, so that's just not a very good loss for USC. It's a big win for Minnesota. PJ Fleck in the interview after the game, he said, I said it all week, we're the best 2-3 win in the country. I'm just like, it's the most PJ Fleck line of all time. But it's kind of true. I've watched a couple of their games. They could easily be 5-1, and they're 3-3 now, so good win for the Gophs. Tough loss for the Trojans, 3-2. Their playoff hopes kind of dwindling with that loss. And I think that was kind of a theme of this Saturday too. Michigan, second loss of the year. They lose at Washington 27-17. USC, second loss of the year. This is one of those Saturdays just like survive in advance, right? Ole Miss bounces back. They hammer South Carolina 27-3. Clemson takes care of Florida State. Iowa State quietly 5-0. They take care of Baylor. How about Indiana? 6-0, 41-24 win over Northwestern. They're one of the surprise teams of the year. And by the way, if you think the upsets are done, they may not be. Cal is up 21-10, third quarter about to get underway. A little ACC after dark. They're beating Miami 21-10. Fernando Mendoza, 209 yards and 2 touchdowns in the first half. We'll see if they can finish that one off. But, man, this sport's just something special. It is something special. And I'd be remiss if I didn't mention Ashton Jeanty. Did a whole video about him. Go check it out on the channel. When you subscribe, go to the content tab. The Boise State running back. They beat Utah State 62-30. He did not play in the second half because they were so far ahead. In the first half, 13 carries, 186 yards, 3 touchdowns. I mean, this guy's unbelievable. His first carry of the game is a 63-yard touchdown. A drive or two later, 75-yard touchdown. Added a 6-yard score later in the game. He came into this game averaging over 10 yards per carry, 845 yards and 13 touchdowns. He's now over 1,000 yards, raised his yards per carry, and has 16 touchdowns. With Jalen Milroe losing and Travis Hunter on bye week, Ashton Jeanty might be the Heisman frontrunner. I mean, this guy is unbelievable. He plays through contact. At all of his runs, he's breaking tackles. And then he can turn on the accelerator. I mean, he is a terrific watch. I mean, I'm tuning in. I have Boise, Utah State on my phone for about a quarter because I want to see what he's going to do. And that's in the middle of all this chaos with other Power 5 games. I'm sitting here watching Ashton Jeanty. He's a fun watch, man, and I would encourage anyone out there, go check him out. For you NFL fans who might need a running back next year, this guy is skyrocketing up draft boards. Whew, he is very, very good. And I said it on the other video, I'll say it again. I hope Boise wins out and makes the playoff. I want to see this guy on the biggest stage because we already saw him go for a $195 and 3 touchdowns against Oregon, almost single-handedly beat the Ducks in a 37-34 loss. I want to see him get another crack at a Power 5 team because I really think that could be a nightmare game for a team in the college football playoff. But what a night. Still not over. Cal, Miami. Shout out Berkeley, by the way. Cal fans showing out at game day today. I didn't know if they would. And they did. So kudos to them. Hit that subscribe button. Turn on notifications. Enjoy the rest of your night. Full slate of NFL games tomorrow. We'll be back with more coverage then. My name is Harrison Graham. Enjoy the NFL games tomorrow. We will see you guys soon. Peace.